one vibe. Let's go. Truth talk, real life. Hey, Lady G by my side. She the sugar. Sweet laugh in the pain. Turn a hard week story to a joke on the train. She the honey. Slow drip on the wound. Sticky little mantra, have you healing by noon. She the spice. Hot take, eyes wide. Say the thing you thinking, but you keep it inside. Then G slide in with the charts and the bags. Turn them so lost to a 5-year plan. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Say it how we live it, let it all be seen. Laugh till we cry, then we wipe that cheek. You are not alone when you ride with we. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Turn the wine me into watch me. Every scar, every bill, every late night fight. We gon' turn that mess into your spotlight. We talk love when it's cute, when it's cruel. How you held down work while he played the fool. We talk money, side gig, main job. How to break that I'm broke from your daily talk. We talk mama wounds, church hurt, old fears. Turn a quiet car ride to a chorus of cheers. Scroll, tap, play, but you stay for the truth. Every joke got roots growing up under you. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Say it how we live it, let it all be seen. Laugh till we cry, then we wipe that cheek. You are not alone when you ride with we. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Turn the wild me into watch me. Every scar, every bill, every late night fight. We gon' turn that mess into your spotlight. Seen, heard, put your hand in the air, yeah? Put your fears in the chair. Real talk, we ain't here just nice. We here for your bag, for your heart, for your life. With Lady G. Say it how we live it, let it all be seen. Laugh till we cry, then we wipe that cheek. You are not alone when you ride with we. Sugar, honey, spice with Lady G. Turn the wine me into watch me. Every time you tune in, every second you stay, you level up a little in your own big way.
All right, welcome to Sugar, Honey, and Spice, hosted by Lady G with her dynamic co-host, Blessings, Miss Nisi. Voice. Now, as you can see, I'm neither of the such. I will be the special guest host for this show. Hey, I go by the name of Philo the Great. I am an entertainer. I am a financial consultant, and I am CEO of Power Team, Capital, and Culture. So the reason why I'm here as the special guest host is because I got a job to do. And my job is to interview the special guest for today, which is none other than the host of Sugar, Honey, and Spice, Lady G herself. So, before we jump into this interview, I'm just going to let you know this is going to be a real interview. When I tell you a real interview, this is going to be a dynamic interview. This is going to be something you would want to share and tell others. I'm going to ask some dynamic questions that I feel like we need to know, and who better than to ask than Lady G herself. So before we jump into the interview, I'm going to read her bio, okay? I'm going to read the bio of Lady G. It says, Jeannie Smith, Lady G, a serial entrepreneur, financial professional, business specialist, and TED Talk speaker. Now, affectionately known as Lady G, she's a distinguished entrepreneur with a wealth of experience spanning over 30 years in business administration and management. Born and raised in New York City, she spent 11 years on Wall Street. Now, before pursuing entrepreneurship, Lady G, she was on the path she has followed for 18 years. Now, Lady G's entrepreneurial ventures cover a diverse range of industries, you all, reflecting her belief in the power of multiple income streams. She is a licensed financial professional with expertise in life insurance, retirement planning, and estate planning. She assists individuals and businesses with safeguarding their financial futures and also guides companies through employee benefit planning. Now, as a dynamic speaker, Lady G has shared her financial expertise on TED Talk stage, where she inspires audiences with her insights into wealth management and financial security. Now, her passion for empowering others extends her role as a business specialist, where she advises entrepreneurs and professionals on strategies to grow their business. In addition to her financial services, Lady G owns Smith Funeral Consulting, offering comprehensive support to families during their times of loss. She also leads Lady G's executive support, providing remote administrative and project management services to busy professionals and clergy around the globe. Lady G is deeply involved in community services. She has served as executive assistant to the president of the Richmond County Black Minority Chamber of Commerce. Furthermore, she served as the treasurer of the Women's Initiative for that same organization, playing a pivotal role in advancing economic opportunities for women and minorities. With a strong foundation in faith, Lady G's guiding principle is that with God, all things are possible. So, this belief drives her commitment to achieving the extraordinary and supporting others in reaching their goal. So, with no further ado, welcome Lady G. G! Hold on, let me see if I got some applause. Okay, all right, all right, all right. We just had to get the applause, get the applause. So, it's a takeover. It's a takeover. I'm not going to hold you long. Go ahead and speak to me. Let me make sure I can hear you. Let me make sure I can hear you.
Can y'all hear me now?
Oh,
Mic one,
yes,
mic two.
yes. We good to go. So, with that being said, let's jump right into it, Lady G. Now, most people are working every day. They go to work every day, but they still broke. Today, I got someone, which is yourself, who spent 11 years on Wall Street and now helps people build real wealth, right? Lady G. So let me ask you this first. Why are people still struggling financially in 2026?
I believe it's because they're not planning. We're not planning. Most of us have not arrived yet. Get ahead are things that you would need to do. And one of them, you may have to sacrifice. Like I'm the billboard of sacrifice when it comes to when I want things. I make sure that I do whatever has to be done to get it. That's not when I bought my first home. I practically was living in my car waiting for it to be finished built, but I wasn't going to the dinners, the movies, things like that with expenses because I wanted my 3-level home to be furnished. So it was a sacrifice. I don't think today people are sacrificing when it comes to saving, sacrificing when it comes to building, sacrificing, having more than one stream of income. So I think that we have the mentality of staying paycheck to paycheck because that's how we were raised. Go get a job 9 to 5 and whatever you bring home, it's yours, and you could do what you want, not realizing that you're broke after doing that. And if there was an emergency that comes up, refrigerator goes out, stove goes out, there's no way to pay it because you have already exhausted all your funds. So it's just a mindset of how we were raised. I was raised that way. So I had to change my mindset.
Mm. That's good. That's good. That's good. Great answer. The mindset. So, do you believe that poverty is a mindset?
I do. I do. I am privileged to be in a position that I can offer people opportunities for extra streams of income. And they're typically mostly all commission based. And I can tell the mindset of a person when I speak to them. They're like, oh no, I can't do commission based, which some people cannot. I understand that. But I hear it when they say it. They're like, no, I need a 9 to 5, not realizing the mindset
Mm-hmm.
should be telling you that a 9 to 5 is what is really holding you down. You're steady going to work for somebody else. And here I'm trying to present something to you so you can work for yourself, your own hours, and make more than maybe you would be making on a 9 to 5. But we're stuck in mindset, and it's a poverty mindset, which we just need to change. But it's been carried on from generation to generation.
Mm.
And what can we do? It's up to the people to want to change their minds.
Mm.
So, yes, I do believe that.
So, what is the biggest financial mistake you see people making right now in 2026?
Still spending, still spending. We are we don't know where we're going right now. Things are so crazy. We don't know. I often tell people you don't know if Social Security is going to be around when you retire. You don't know if pensions are still going to exist when you retire at your company that you're at. So instead of building and sacrificing now so that when you get into retirement, you're not having to go find a job because you did not prepare now. We're still spending, even with gas prices going up. They're still spending. And this would have been the rainy day that we should have saved for prior, because life happens. We never know what life is going to throw at us, no matter who's in office, no matter who is in charge. Um, we need to be prepared to show up when life comes knocking on the door. I often say this: when life comes knocking at your door, make sure you can stand 10 toes down, because when you open the door, it shouldn't knock you off your feet, but you should be able to stand strong. So I believe that what people are doing today is they still have their head in the clouds. I think they still don't see that we are in a state of emergency, especially when it comes to finances. And I'm a big believer that people need to realize you need more than one stream of income. If you have one stream of income, you're close to having none. But if you have multiple streams, I often say it this way: think of your life as a tabletop. If you have one leg underneath that table, that's usually someone that's just working a 9 to 5 or has one stream of income. But if life comes knocking at the door and that leg breaks, you're going down. But if you had multiple legs underneath that table, you're 9 to 5. You might know how to do hair. You might know how to do nails. You may know how to bake. Whatever side hustles you could do, that would put more legs. So if one leg break, you might wobble, but you would not fall because you prepared. So take your head out the clouds. This is a time that don't think that this is not going to change. Prepare as if it is going to change and get worse, instead of thinking that, oh, it'll be all right and I can just look to the government. That's not the way to do it.
So you mentioned multiple streams of income. So why do hardworking people who go to work, who have multiple streams of income, why do they still live paycheck to paycheck?
Then they're just overspending. They're really overspending, living beyond their means, living like the Joneses, as one would often say. Just because you make the money, then you can have the red bottom shoes or this name brand. Just because you're making the money. I mean, we have many wealthy people that are filing for bankruptcy. Why? Because they live beyond their means. You can be the stylish person, you could, be with the time, but you don't have to spend beyond your means. And I think that when we talk about what one's budget looks like on a monthly basis, you would be able to see where things could be either cut out, minimized, where you could have savings instead of just thinking, okay, I make 5 grand a month, 2 grand, 2,500 is for the mortgage, 25 left over. I got to pay the Con Ed, the heating and electric, the cell phone bills. I got 500 left. Let me go out to eat to the best restaurant because I deserve it because I work so hard. Not saying that one doesn't deserve to treat themselves, but could you have not put half of that away for that rainy day?
Now, is the financial system broke, or are people uninformed?
Can I say both?
Elaborate.
I think the system is broke. I think that's why we continue to keep printing money. Um, and I think the people, again, how did you say it? How was the last part that you said about the people?
Are the people uninformed?
I think we are definitely uninformed. I think that we're so stuck on what grandmama and great grandmama did, and what they didn't tell us, that we never learned to go out and find the information ourselves. We never learned to go research. They have this saying, if you want to keep something from us, they put it in a book because we won't open it up and read it. I do believe that one of the ways of staying informed is reading. It's getting into the books, knowing what's new out there. Listen to a podcast if you don't want to read a book, or get the books that is in your ear. Just get yourself in a position to learn more, because if you don't know, you'll be stuck. You know how many times I talk to people and I'll bring up a product and they'll say, Lady J, I ain't never heard of that. Because they wasn't in the right circle, I guess, to hear about it, the right community to hear about it. So I believe that it is both. I think that the people are uninformed, and I also that the country is just we're gonna leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Wall Street, 11 years spent on Wall Street. So by you being on Wall Street 11 years, what did that teach you about money? And what do you think people need to know about?
What did it teach me? First, I learned about the hustle and bustle, because we did have a trading floor in the company. So I was watching. It's definitely not compared to the trading floor up the block, but it showed me and it helped me learn how to watch the stock market, what to know, when to buy, when to sell. It showed me how the movers and shakers really move when it comes to money. It taught me a lot about the financial industry, whether it came down to underwriting, because the way it worked with us, we'd have a company come to us, we'd have to sit at a table, it'd be like a round table with all the directors, and they would have to agree whether to go with the deal. Is it too risky? Could this hurt our bottom line if it was to go under? Or is this a good deal? Should we jump on it? So it showed me how to look into information without jumping in to know if it is beneficial. And I carry that with me because even with all the businesses that I opened up and start streams of income that I started, God spoke them to me, and I can immediately know to go with it because I could tell that it was something that would pay off in the end. So it's just a mindset thing. Being on Wall Street taught me that, like, know when it's a good risk or it's too risky or there's no risk at all. Just jump in the water and you just might learn to swim.
So, what made you walk away from Wall Street and become an entrepreneur?
The market went boom. So since this is Who is Lady G, there's a little long story, but I'll make it short. So I remember, now I left Wall Street 2008.
Okay.
March 16th, 2008. And prior to that, about a year prior, I wanted to go so bad. I wanted to go. I was tired. I get bored easily. And I had already put my time in there. And I was just like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. And I had opened up my first business. It was a home daycare. And I was still working my 9 to 5. It was a 24-hour daycare. So I had people on for the first shift. And when I got off at 9 to 5, from my 9 to 5, I would take on the evening shift. And we did have children in there for the evening shift. It was typically the parents that were working the 3 to 11. So I wanted to go. And one of my good girlfriends said to me, don't you dare leave. Let them put you out. She said, because you will walk away with a severance. Because you couldn't have told me. I had already bought my house. I'd been in my house about 3 years. And I just wanted to sell it. I said, put it on the market. I want to go to Florida. My thing was I was going to Florida. Thank God he takes care of fools and babies. But you couldn't have told me otherwise. So when my good girlfriend was telling me, let them put you out, she was like, you ain't going to make no money in Florida. And I said, money don't buy happiness. And she says, why would you take such a huge pay cut like that? I said, you don't understand. I want to go. And she's like, you just bought the house a few years ago. I said, it didn't matter. But anyway, long story short, I wound up listening to her and I wound up staying. The day, this will be the first time I share this part. So the day, March 16th, 2008, I walked into the office and I sat at my desk as I typically would do. And I turned on my computer to check my emails.
Okay.
And in there was an email that was sent to me that wasn't supposed to be sent to me. It was supposed to be sent to my boss. And it was a list of everyone getting laid off that day. And I looked and my name was on the list. I shouted for joy. So I shouted for joy. And I couldn't tell nobody to this day, even if my old sees this, because we're still in contact. He's going to say, you never told me this story. But I never said anything. I just sat there at my desk. I started putting things away in my bag, clearing off my desk, waiting for that phone call to go to HR. Do you know they waited practically the whole day before they called up? I think it was around 3 o'clock they called up.
Gotta
You have people work
the whole day. Got a full day's work out of it. Yeah.
That's so disrespectful. So anyway, it was funny because I got up there and I was trying not to show my excitement, but I guess they thought I was cool for Cocoa Pops because she's sitting there. She comes with the manila folder, has my package in it, and she says, after she explains everything, she says, Are you okay? I said, I'm fine. She says, you want to talk to anybody? No, that's okay. Are you good? Is this it? Can I
Mm-hmm.
go now?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, you can go now. And I ran down to my desk, got my stuff. I don't even remember saying goodbye to people. And I just got my stuff and I left. Um, and then I was able to branch out into entrepreneurship. And I've been running ever since.
Mm.
So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I don't believe that full-time entrepreneurship is for everybody,
Okay.
but I do believe part-time entrepreneurship should be. You should have another stream of income
Mm.
coming in that you have control over.
Mm.
Did I answer your
Man, yes,
question?
you did, and you helped me segue into this next question. So, you've built multiple streams of income. So, what would you say actually works versus what people see online?
Ooh. Um, that's a tricky question.
Okay.
And the reason I say it's tricky because I think it's based on the individual. Me personally, God spoke every one of my streams to me.
Mm-hmm.
The running joke is since we're getting to know Lady G, he speaks it to me in bed. So literally, he's spoken every business to me. When I'm laying in bed, there's peace and I can hear him. And the running joke is I have the gift of helps.
Okay.
So every one of my businesses is helping people in one shape or form. So um, what works for me is businesses that don't have huge overhead. What works for me is where I can interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
And have access to uh, different types of information.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think compared to online, and someone reached out and asked me this a few weeks ago. I don't recommend when it's one trying to service products or sell products where you have to have a huge overhead. You have to
Mm-hmm.
buy the products. You're not, if you ain't making no money now, you done lost money in buying the products. That's not for Lady G.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. I've done it. I've done the Mary Kay.
Mm-hmm.
I've done. There was a wine that it wasn't even a wine. It was like a grape juice that was supposed to cure like cancer or
The
whatever.
noni juice. The
Um,
noni juice.
is that what it's called?
Noni juice.
Back like 20 something
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Monaview or something like that. I
Yeah.
think it
I
was.
know they had that noni
But
juice. Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I did that and it actually tasted good. So I was basically, that wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even a risk because I wound up just drinking it or whatever was left that nobody brought.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was giving it to my grandmother because at that time she was dealing with cancer. And I'm like, Grandma, drink this. They say it's good for cancer. So, but no, Lady G is not the one that needs to sell products because I'm not a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one to do that. So I to answer your question, I think it's based on the person.
Okay.
I think it's based on the person because there's some people out there that are good salespeople. And online, that's basically what it is. That you'll find a lot of people telling you they have businesses for you to start where you have to buy products and sell them. So don't get into it if you're not a salesperson. If you're not got the gift of gab, and some people can make you buy anything because they just got that gift of the right words to say.
Mm. So, what is one thing wealthy people do that poor? Let me say it like this. Let me rephrase. What is one thing that wealthy people do consistently that poor people don't?
Research. Um, and the reason they research is if you talk to a majority of and I've had, it was a running joke because I said my phone does have some millionaires in there.
Mm-hmm.
So the running joke is that they like to make money and never lose money.
Mm-hmm.
So how can they do that? They have to research. They have to know where's the right place to diversify, where's the right place to put their money.
Mm-hmm.
So That's what I think they do. They research.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. I like to say this is where people need to take out a pen, a pad, and really take notes, right? Because this is where I'm going to ask you um these questions to see what your advice would be. So, if someone has zero savings right now, nothing in their savings account, zero savings, what are the first three moves they should make?
Wow. Zero savings.
Zero, nothing in the savings account. What are the first three moves they should make?
Well, first of all, I would say one, sit down, do your budget. A lot of people don't budget. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people don't write it out. So they spend, don't even know what's going out compared to what's coming in. So, one, sit down, write your budget, write all your expenses that go out on a monthly basis, write down your salary of what you have come in. And when you deduct it, do you have anything left over? If you have anything left over, try to take 25 or 50% of that, put it away into a savings account and just spend the other 50 because I understand you got to get things for yourself, etc. That could be a way for you to start building up your savings account. A second thing, if you are a person that has the mentality that I'll get an extra stream of income, you can definitely look into that. The streams of income that I offer, minimum to no overhead. You can start. I have businesses that you could start as low as um, $50 to $100. Maybe a few $100s for more for another business. But if you do that you have to have the mentality to go out and work your business. Otherwise, you're not going to make no money and it would be pointless.
Mm.
A third thing is what would I say a third thing is? Get yourself around people. Take yourself out of the environment that you're so used to. This is not to throw too much shade, but if you continue to walk around with chickens, you want to stay on that level. But if you surround yourself with eagles, if you go research, eagles pull you up while chickens keep you down.
Mm.
So start surrounding yourself with people that can speak into you and give you more money ideas on how to make money.
All right.
Hope that helps.
Yeah. Let's go three things. You said number one, budget. Once you budget, number two, put 50% up. Put 50% to save. Use the other 50%. Right? And that
Yes.
and that third thing. Reiterate the third thing for them, ladies. 'Cause I think that was very important.
Surrounding yourself with the right people. Start going to networking groups.
Mm-hmm.
Start going, go to church.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Put God as the head of your life because He'll make sure everything, if you keep Him first, He'll make sure everything else will be all
And I
right.
believe that third one falls under research and education. Research, education, networking. That's how you get around the right people who can, show you or guide you or mentor you, whatever adjective you want to use right there. So, let's talk protection. Why do people avoid life insurance until it's too late?
Because they're misinformed.
Mm.
They think that life insurance is just about a death benefit.
Mm-hmm.
They're uninformed that you can utilize it while you're yet living.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's called life insurance. They're uninformed that you can create wealth from it. They're uninformed that how many trust fund babies are created is by a life insurance policy. They're uninformed that you can start a business with a life insurance policy. They're uninformed you can send your children to college with a life insurance policy. They're uninformed that they can get retirement checks from a life insurance policy if built correctly. So I believe that if a lot of more people knew what they could do with life insurance, we'd have a lot more people getting it. But we have people that are selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't say that loosely because I've been in this business a long time. I'm also a funeral consultant. I've seen it all.
Mm-hmm.
They're selfish. I've listened to people tell family members, I don't need life insurance. Just burn me and put me in the backyard. Or, oh, I'll be gone. Y'all worry about it. Selfish. But if you told them they were going to get a boatload of money, I'm pretty sure that they would look at it a different.
All right, so look, Lady G, you've been answering all these questions on point, and I appreciate it. But you're gonna have to forgive me because I'm interviewing you on your wonderful platform, and I didn't want no background noise, and so I hit live and I sat down, and I forgot to cut the arrow. And I've been over here just sitting over here just burning up, roasting. And I'm tired of roasting, Lady G. I'm tired of sitting having to lean to the side. So, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Going to ask you to allow me to go right over there and hit this air button. Okay? Because I'm about to. No, it ain't right. It ain't right, Lady G.
You go ahead. You go ahead. You shit's too funny.
Okay,
That was too funny.
we back.
I don't think too funny.
We back. We back. All right, so we back. Now, no, that's you could keep that in there. People need to know it's real. Like it's real. Like I'm sitting up here trying to be a great guest host. Ask real questions. Get to know the real Lady G. Professional side, right? And I ain't cut the air on before I sat down. So I'm sitting over here burning up, like lean to the side, grab the neck and rip back, trying to not make so many subtle movements so I wouldn't have to burn up. The more you move, the hotter you get. So I'm sitting up here just roasting. You know what I'm saying? Like a little peanut. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I was a honey roasted peanut. And I didn't want to be roasted anymore. So I had to, ask you to allow me to step over and now feel the air that's coming out of the vents. And it feels fantastic. Yes.
Won't he do
yes,
it?
he will. Yes, he will. Closed mouths don't get fed. So I had to,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
And they don't break generational curses either. And they don't get the air turned on.
All right. So, with that being said, what happens to families financially when they don't plan?
Critical and chronic illnesses is the number one cause of poverty and people filing for bankruptcy today. What do I mean by that? Life came knocking at the door, knocked you off your feet, diagnosis is put on you. You no longer can work your 9 to 5 because a majority of people that get diagnosis, they have to stop working and they probably have to carry that for like 5 years. So that's 5 years without income. So they're going to struggle to pay the mortgage, put food on the table, clothes on the back, etc. Some people will refi that house so many times that they owe now more on the house than what it's even worth, which is filing for bankruptcy and all that comes in. Diagnosis, I don't want to call out any because I don't like put it in the atmosphere, but there's medications for those diagnoses that are very, very expensive. I was sharing with my team that I have somebody that got a new medication and it was $400 something a month. And the insurance paid only half of that, where they have to come out $200 and something a month. And they're on just Social Security and pension. It's a hit for them. So if one is not prepared, it would be unfortunate. I used to often say that I believe that the graveyard is full of people that didn't need to be there. It's not because the diagnosis put them there. It was because of the stress
Mm-hmm.
that they had to go through financially to try to stay alive. Because I remember this. I was driving to church
Mm-hmm.
one day,
Mm-hmm.
and I seen this woman on the side of the road, and the Lord just said, pull over. And I pulled over and I said, are you okay? Because she was like leaning. I said, are you okay? And she says, give me a minute. And I said, okay. And then I waited for her to have a minute to get her breath. And I said, are you okay? She said, I just came from chemo and I got to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you came to chemo and you're going to work. Why didn't you take the day off? She says, I can't afford to. She said, my medication is so expensive that it has ate up my savings.
Mm.
I can't afford not to work. So imagine her having to go to chemo and what I've heard that can do to one's strength and one's body, and then have to go to work. And I said, I wound up taking her to work. I said, get in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think she was waiting for an Uber or something. I said, get in my car. And I drove her to the hospital where she worked. And when I tell you, when she got out of my car, she didn't even make it a few steps before she was ready to collapse again. So
Mm.
she leaned against something. One of her workers was out there and ran to her. I said, do you got her? Because she's not good. She said, I got her. But that's what I'm talking about. And that's why I'm so passionate on speaking about being prepared. Because if one was prepared, one can pull from their policy. One could pull to pay for the medications and pull for the
Mm-hmm.
treatments, but and not have to worry about their 9 to 5. They can stay home, get healthy, do what they have to do, pay their bills and from their life insurance policy.
Mm.
So yeah.
So you mentioned that. So a lot of people think life insurance is just for death. What are they missing?
They're missing it can pay for college. It can buy a new car. It can put their children through college. They can have they can pull money out for rainy
Mm-hmm.
days. They can, if they have more month end money or want to go on a vacation, they could pull it out there. I think that's what they're missing. They're missing the fact that they can pull out and utilize the cash in there, because there's different buckets in the life insurance policy. You got the death benefit, and if it's a cash value policy, you have the cash value, and then you have a policy value and a surrender value. So the policy value is the cash that's in the account. Surrender value is what part of that policy value you have access to, and the death benefit is what you can utilize if you get ill or you leave here. That can go to your family along with whatever cash was left over, if that's how you set it up.
Mm. Now, thank you for answering that so thoroughly, first off. And I hope people listening to the interview will be able to now get a more thorough understanding about life insurance, not just being for death. What you're missing is what Lady G just said. You can borrow, take money. You know, there's things you can do with a life insurance policy. You can pull money out to start a business to get more money, if you so choose to. So these are the things that people, I feel like, are missing, that they need to know about life insurance, that is just not for death. In 2026, is the 9 to 5 enough to build wealth anymore?
Was it building wealth to begin with? I don't think so. Not unless you was all the way at the top. I don't think so.
Mm,
So my answer is a whole complete no.
mm,
A whole complete no.
okay.
Period.
So, do you believe everyone can become wealthy?
Do I believe everyone can become wealthy? A part of me wants to say yes, but a part of me is so realistic that the reality is everybody's not going to want to take the steps to do it.
But,
Is it a possibility?
mm-hmm,
Yes,
yeah,
it is a possibility
mm-hmm,
if they have the mindset to do it.
yeah,
But realistically, only maybe 1 to 3% of America is considered wealthy America.
Mm.
That's a big percentage that's not.
Right. And now, are those people broke because of mindset or lack of information? So when we get to talking
Both.
wealth, poverty, are people broke because of mindset? Because we talked about mindset earlier, or being uninformed, lack of information.
I think it could be both. And the reason I can think of both is I can think of the person that hits the lotto,
Mm-hmm.
wins million, and then is broke within months. Why? Because they didn't have the mentality,
Mm-hmm.
the mindset, the education on how to hold money.
Mm-hmm.
There's steps that you can do even with winning the lotto. Um, you can make some moves where that much taxes is not taken out. There's things, trust and all of this. So there is different moves, but if you're not researching, you wouldn't know. So you got happy you won the lotto, went and got cashed in that ticket, and now 50%, if that is wiped out with taxes when you could have avoided. If you did your research, you'd know you wouldn't even have to go on the news and announce that you won the lotto. There's different ways to go about things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you wouldn't have to worry about those family members coming out and asking for money. But I digress.
Mm.
I also think about the people that they just may have wealth and they just have the mentality for it to slip through their
Mm-hmm.
hands. And they might have been around people that were educated. They may have been around people that set them up. I think that we need to change our mindset because the mindset of the wealthy is to make money, never lose money, as I mentioned earlier. But do you know that when the wealthy has money, the real person who's research, who has the mindset, they have money and it's not in their name. They believe in being broke on paper while their wealth is tied up in a trust and outside of their name. They don't own nothing. The trust owns it all. That's what we're talking about. There's different levels to
Mm.
this thing.
So for some people who would say being wealthy is unrealistic, what would you say to them?
I believe that all things are possible to whom believes, because with God all things are possible,
Mm-hmm.
and that's truly my belief.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is meant for you to be wealthy, I believe that he will make a way
Mm-hmm.
for that to happen. And you just have to have the mindset to receive it.
Mm. So being that you believe that, let's talk about Lady G. What moment in your life changed everything for you?
Leaving Wall Street, leaving Wall Street, and even then, when I left that company, I still couldn't see the entire staircase. If anyone would have told me that years down the line I would have did this business, that business, I would have told them they will lie. I'm telling you, I thought,
Mm-hmm.
when I got those papers, God was saying, okay, you can go to Florida now. He said no. So, yeah, it was that day that I left that company. It changed my life. I, I, I remember that first year, and probably wasn't even maybe the first 6 months, probably, that I realized I had more money coming in than I did working that 9 to 5.
Mm.
And I had that one stream of income. And I remember distinctly that I didn't have to touch my severance package because I had already started that one stream of income with the daycare. So I didn't even have to touch my severance package for that year, as many may have had to because they hadn't built another stream of income.
So how has your faith guided your business decision?
Say that again.
How has your faith guided your business decision?
It's been the lead. It's been the lead. As my bio says, I'm a believer that all things with God is possible. Um, God is the head of all my businesses. I already said He spoke them to me. That's how I know that it can do well, even if it's just for a season. I know that I'm going to get something out of it because He brought me to it. I would not dare lead or do anything outside of his will because I don't even want to go through the heartache of it failing. But I know when I put him at the head, and I tell that to my team all the time, I said, if we are soul focused, and if you go after the souls, God will take care of the rest with the money. So I believe that you can make more money in this business if you have him as the head. So it has been a big, big part. God is the head of my life, my businesses, my everything. So absolutely a big.
So, Lady G, have you ever had to choose between money and your value?
No, no. In fact, I have turned good paying clients away because I don't believe all money is good money. I don't believe of changing my morals. I don't I would not be disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
I would not for a dollar. Mm-mm. No, and I have had some good paying clients that I said, you know what, this we can't do this business anymore. It's not a good fit. I would never ever. Yeah, I would never.
So, what keeps you grounded, Lady G? When success comes knocking at the door, what keeps you grounded during success?
Knowing that God did it. He is my answer for everything. He did it. He allowed it. He prepared me for
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, as scripture says, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. He said that everything that belongs to him belongs to me because I'm his child. So I stay grounded in knowing that even in success, I didn't do it. I did not.
Mm-hmm.
I left Wall Street in a recession. I had just purchased my home 4 years prior,
Mm-hmm.
and I never had to. I was able to stick with my home. Why? Because God let my businesses flourish.
Mm.
He allowed me to be able to make the bill payments. So success, all I could say is God did it.
Mm.
God did it.
So, a lot of people watching this are going to realize that they need to get their finances together. They're going to say, I need to really sit down and budget. I need to get life insurance. I need to check into why I shouldn't wait till the last minute to get life insurance. How can I benefit off life insurance now? So they're going to be asking themselves these questions. What should someone do after watching this interview?
Immediately get on and book a free consultation with me. That way we can see where you are, where you want to be, and get you some real numbers. And then if you decide, we can get on a call and put in an application and get it started. You don't want to wait. I'm in the business of telling people time is not on your side. Um, my link will be in the bio, the caption. Get on the calendar, make a decision. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. If you are listening to this episode, that means that God wanted you to hear that it was time to take action. He is speaking to you. When it comes to life insurance is based on your health and your age. And if God forbid something happens to your health where you're diagnosed with something, you are then most likely uninsurable. So waiting is not. So many people during COVID, young, left here. They waited. I've heard so many young people say, I'm so young, I don't need it. Yeah, you do. Because I don't know who told the lie, but GoFundMe is not the funeral expense account. So definitely click the link and get on my calendar, so that you can, and you can even dial the office 732-860-4693, 732-860-4693, and get your questions answered.
So what if they say, okay, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. I get it. I understand. I seen the interview. I don't want to wait. So what is the first step that they need to do in getting their financial house in order?
So I still say get on my calendar so that we can talk it out to see what steps you would need to take for your situation. Because we need to know, are you on level 1 or are you on level 5? Because different levels mean building in different ways. But again, if you don't, let me speak this. This is to the person who may be listening to this and may say, I need to get my stuff in order, but I don't have any funds saved. Then go back and do what I said as far as the steps on beginning to save. You can, let me tell you something about life insurance. First of all, I done spoke about how it can bring wealth, but at the end of the day, it is a death benefit. That's the foundation. So if one is not in the position to put $100 a month or $200 a month away, so instead of putting it in a savings account in a local bank making less than 1% interest, you can put it in a life insurance policy and make more interest on it. But if you can't even do 100, 200 or more, then get a small final expense policy where, and again, it's based on your age, but where you can at least get buried so your family is not worrying about that. So your family's not having to do a GoFundMe. That I often say this, love is an action word. If you tell your family you love them, make sure that you put them in a to not have to stress and grieve at the same time. I say this and it always comes across harsh when I'm thinking about saying it, but it just needs to be said. Think about the senior citizen parents who has to bury their child. Now they on Social Security and pension, but that child didn't have we talking about grown woman, grown man, didn't have a policy. Now they're on Social Security and pension trying to figure out how to pay 8, 9, 10 grand for a service, not even counting the burial site, and trying to figure out, do you know that that stress can kill them too and put them in the grave right behind you? But if you had your stuff in order, it would bring so much peace. If you put 100, 200 away a month, if you are that person that can do it, start now. Put it into a policy. Let it grow compound interest. Or if you want fixed interest, there's products for that too. But let it grow. So you could see that you put in 1,000 at one point and it turned into 1,500. You put in 5,000, now it turned into 8,000. Interest is a wonderful thing. Albert Einstein has a quote. You want to go research it, research it. It says compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't will pay it. So instead of paying it in your mortgage payment, credit card bills, these student loans, these department store, car payments, etc., why not put it somewhere that it can make your money grow? And life insurance is one of those tools.
And there you have it. So if you watching this, I'm gonna tell you now, if you watching this and you need help, and you watching this, whether it's in life insurance, retirement planning, or you just getting started, and you know me, and you in my state, Tennessee, then you need to hit the link that's gonna be in there, because my calendar link will be in this too, and I got a free 15-minute consultation slot for you. and we can talk about it. We can talk about it because I believe that we can go over your situation and give you a real plan. So if you know Lady G, get with Lady G. Get on her schedule. Get it on her calendar. All right. You know me. Get on my calendar. Got a free 15-minute consultation for you. Okay. All right. So click the link, book a time, and let's get you all set up right away. Okay. Because it's not something that I believe is wanted, but it's needed, and you should have it because it is a need. So, Lady G, and I said J because Jenny. You know what I'm saying? So if you know, but it's Jenny with a G, y'all. So see, me being privy to do the interview, I know it's Jenny with the G and not a J. So, Lady G, give the people your, I guess your final goodbyes, your final takeaways, what it is you want to say that you just feel like the people need to know before we wrap it up.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you, Philo, for even doing this interview. I definitely appreciate it. I thank you for allowing us to have another opportunity to even get this information out. I do believe that people just realize that take action before you're ready to take action and you can't take action. Don't wait. Don't wait. So definitely get on the calendar. What is it going to cost you but your time? Just a moment of your time. You already heard Philo say he has a 15-minute consultation. So just a 15 minutes to an hour of your time to find out what is best for you. Just know that you should have your stuff in order. Today, we spoke about the life insurance, but I'm also a driver. We also make sure you get your wills done, your living will, your last will and testament, your power of attorney, your financial power of attorney, a trust. Just know that these documents are necessary. There's only three things that avoid probate: life insurance, index annuities, and a trust. A will does not avoid probate, but it sure makes that process a lot easier. And everyone over the age of 18 should have a power of attorney. Those kids, those children turning 18, you should be making sure that they have a power of attorney, because if God forbid something was to happen to them, it does not matter that you birthed them. It does not matter that you're married to the person. But if there is not a power of attorney with your name on it, those doctors can tell you, we can't take anything that you have to say. That building manager will say, we can't give you any information. That power of attorney is what is necessary. And I often say this: a last will and testament, consider it to be your last love letter to your family. I don't care if you think you own nothing. I often say, if it's just a picture frame on the wall, who do you love enough to say in that letter, I want so and so to have that picture on the wall? Instead of having them fighting over it to see who gets it, put it on paper. Put your wishes on paper. How do you want your life to be lived out if you can't speak on your behalf? It should be on paper. A lot of family disagreements would not happen if a lot more people had it on paper. Thank you again. This is Lady G. I love you all, and I do hope to see you on the calendar soon. And you can check out proverbs31.co. The 31 is spelled out. So that's proverbs 31.co. And you can look through there, or you can go to Calendly/Smith Consultings and again get on the calendar. But it will be in the caption. Thank you so much. Back to you, Philo.
All right, thank you so much, Lady G. Any social media handles you want to give to the people? Where can they find the social media handles? Will it be in the comments? Like, will it be in the description? Like, where would the social media?
It will definitely be in the caption or the description, but I am easy to find. I am Lady G, financial professional across all social media platforms. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter. On Twitter is different though. I think it's I am Boss Lady 8 on Twitter, or X now that it's called. But I, I'm not very on X a lot. So all the other social media platforms, Lady G Financial
All
Professional
right.
across the board.
All right. So, go book your consultation with Lady G. Get with her now. You know what I'm saying? Yes, us. And if you, I second that. I second that one. You know what I'm saying? Us. So, I am Philo the Great on all social media platforms. That's PH like phone, ELOTHEGREAT. Okay, on all social media platforms. Again, Lady G will allow me to put my uh link where you can book, set you an appointment. All right, with me, free 15-minute consultation. I enjoyed myself with this interview because I know I ask questions that people need to hear. You know what I'm saying? We can kiki, gaga, all that good stuff. We can do that all day. That's an innate ability. But to get informed about finances and people, we need to educate ourselves on it. So I'm all for it. I would take any time out my schedule to do something that is beneficial and constructive for others and can benefit others who don't know, may not know, but need to know. All right. So with that being
Can I
said,
say one more?
you sure
Can I
can.
say one
You
more?
sure can.
Listen, I just want to tell the people we do family Zoom calls. So if you can't talk to your family, just get on my calendar to tell me a day and time, or call the office. See a day and time that we can get them on. Get them on the Zoom call. If you can't talk to them about life insurance, I promise you I can. That's all. Thank you.
There you go. So if you can't talk to the family, let Lady G talk to your family. She'll get them in for you. All right. So, as always, we're getting ready to sign off. Lady G, thank you so much for allowing me to uh, be the guest host of Sugar, Honey, and Spice to be able to interview you. Because a lot of times when you doing the interviewing, right, I feel like people need to get to know who Lady G is and what it is she stands for. And I believe we did a good job of getting that message out on today. Okay? So, as always, people, if you know me, we get with it or quit it. Barbecue and meal do. Some will, some won't, some do, some don't. And if you got a problem with anything that has been said, you know you got two choices. Either check it or respect it. That's it. All right? We up out of here. All right? Lady G, Philo the Great, gone. Peace.